Hey guys, and welcome. Ewan here from Ewan Capital and Connect My Currency. And today I'm introducing the AFSD or AF Supply and Demand 2.0. This is software that I've been ecstatic about over the past few months, and I've finally had it finished. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, the first thing I want to kind of go into is not necessarily the trade, because you can see, guys, here, look, my trade zones are already pre-planned. What you're going to have is an import feature to import all my trades directly to your platform. So I'll be drawing all the boxes, doing all the analysis, which includes the fundamental, technical, geopolitical analysis and trend analysis into the mix, and then giving it to you guys all before the week starts. We've got different zones which are made up, such as, we're close to price right now, or the market price right now. So this would be classed as a high risk zone. Then we've got a medium risk zone, and we've got a low risk zone. These zones are made up on your chart on different assets, and you could determine which ones you want to take. It's totally up to you. Now, again, just to kind of highlight, this feature will be an import feature only. That means these zones will not be automatically drawn onto your platform. It would have to require my input in order for you to get these supply and demand zones directly onto your chart. Let's go into the settings and explore kind of how things work. First thing here is obviously you've got two modes. You've got your auto mode and your manual mode. If you want to trade this thing manually, you're more than welcome to. You just highlight the manual mode tab right there, or the parameter right there, and then you're good to click and go. If you want it fully automated, then you'll just leave it as a default. Before you get into that, please make sure your comment is allow DL inputs, allow input of external experts, allow modification of signal settings. It's switched all on, okay, or free ticks in those boxes, and make sure your auto trading feature is switched on here too. Going over to the input section now, you've got your password there, which will be given to you. More likely will change every few months to prevent any hackers, etc. Then going over to SD Zone Max Trades, it's very, very simple and very easy to explain. So for each of these zones that are built up, guys, you're going to have multiple attempts of that supply and demand zone. You can see from this zone here, so this big rectangle, you've got a zone. Okay, it's made up of a zone. The first one, the first attempt was here. So this is the first drop. So this would be classed as trade max trade 1. Second hit into the zone, which is over here, would be max trade 2. Third zone over here, or third feature over here, or third attempt, would be max trade 3. So this zone here had actually 3 hits in it before we now disqualify it as a zone. So in this section here, you have max trades. So you could have 1, 2, 3, 4, as much trades as you want out of a zone, but I only encourage you to have a maximum between 2 and 3. Okay, only. I'm going to leave it set as 3 for this explanation here. We've got the color of the zone. So the zone is obviously here in gold. This makes it easy to see. When the zone is inactive, however, so an active zone would be gold, an inactive zone would be tomato or red. So when this zone has been used up multiple times, it hasn't been used here, as you can see, 0, 0. I've just drawn these in for you guys. But when they have been used, this zone automatically turns to red. Okay, so depending on how much max trades you have, if this zone here has been hit 3 times, or even this one's been hit 3 times, it will turn to red and then it will be inactive. That means it will no longer be traded. The zone width, very self-explanatory. It's just the width of the line here on how thin or thick that you want it. We've got the SD zone auto extend. That means it will extend into the future. Okay, so there's no need to kind of redraw the lines or get zones rejiggled or anything like that. Just because they look pretty short here, as time goes on, as you can understand, the market will proceed on, and as it proceeds on, these boxes follow along with it. Just going over down to the trading sessions now. So the trading session settings is very simple. Again, as you can see here, we've got use trading sessions, which is set to false. This means, you've got trading sessions such as the UK, US, Asian, and Sydney sessions. Now, these sessions I don't really recommend trading in. It depends though on the kind of circumstances and the fundamentals and all the rest of it. So again, in the week in the member zone, you guys will be given direct settings on how to turn this on or turn this off, and you can obviously play about with the time, so you can decide when you want the EA to start trading. So you can say 4 a.m. in the morning, and you can say you want the EA to stop trading at around 2200 at night. Again, you can change these settings just by double clicking them and then changing the hours to as you wish. Okay. Going over now to the trade management section, which is very important, and especially for me to kind of get this information over to you guys. Now, let's just say, right, your trade one. Okay, so your trade one is coming. Let's just say, for example, this market has come up to this area here, and it's gonna do, let's say, for example, 30 pips. We're gonna take this trade based off of 30 pips. So this is how this thing here is gonna work. So the trade entry for trade one will be based off of 30 pips. So if this is enters into this box here, it looks to take profit at 30 pips. So it will drop and take 30 pips. So let me just get the cursor here. So what I'm trying to say to you, if this market comes up here, it triggers off of this and drops down. We're expecting a move of around 30 pips, 20 to 30 pips in my opinion. Okay, and that's easy calculatable here. Okay, now if this market decides to do more than that, what I would say or what I would suggest doing is changing the actual feature in the actual EA itself. So we go back here and you can adjust it for dependent on the actual asset that you're trading. So GJ or GBP/JPY is calculated a lot differently to other markets, but nevertheless the same. It works the same way. Okay. We go down to trade two. So this is how I work. Let's say, for example, you know, if the first entry here isn't valid or it doesn't work, what you do here or what the EA will do is open up a second trade at 30 pips. So 30 pips additional. So I'll just show you how that works. So let's say, for example, your first entry was here. Trade one got breached by 30 pips. 30 pips is here. Trade two would enter. Okay, so trade two will enter around here, and then trade three will enter up around here. So in essence, what you're going to have is 3 to 4 trades in this one particular zone made up. Now, these are very high probability zone, guys. That means there's a 90% plus chance of these trades actually working out, and you have to account for the 10% losses that you would have on any given trade. Now, when that happens, we only have 3 or 4 attempts at a particular zone before we cut that feature off, or before we cut the actual trade off completely. So that means all 3 trades will be liquidated. Like I said to you, it's a thing where, if it has a 90% win ratio, it's likely to work out. And if it does, you can imagine that, let's say, for example, a drop here and we extended the pip count or take profit, you can, you know, easily bag yourself a lot of pips here. So this is what I'll say to you in terms of obviously just thinking to yourself, if you are going to take these zones on assets such as obviously GJ, you're just going to extend them a little bit more, etc. So I'm just going to go back into the settings here again. There we go. And then highlight that point one more time. Okay, so the first entry here is made at 30 pips. Oh, sorry, 30 pips take profit, I beg your pardon. Trade two would be trade entry would be at 30 pips again. Then a take profit would be at 40 pips. Trade three would be at 30 pips more. So if it goes 30 pips above where second entry is, we'll take another trade out and then it will set its take profit at 60 pips. Again, these are all adjustable depending on the asset and the circumstances we're trading under. And then obviously we've got finally got trade four here where it enters in 30 pips again above your third entry, and then obviously it goes for the sell again. So very self-explanatory stuff there, guys. I don't want this video to go on too long, so I'm just gonna quickly run through this bit to now get to the stop loss. Stop loss feature is very, very easy. The zone plus X pips. So the zone would be made up of these yellow boxes, and then you say to yourself, okay, well, the trade has taken itself here at this entry here. It will be above at 20 pips. Okay. The max stop or the max stop max in pips will be 120 pips. Again, you can adjust these, which are very, very simple. Very important fact here as well, guys. A lot of retail traders do in fact lose because of the very tight stop loss. So do bear that in mind. This is the reason why we have this feature up here, which enables you to have multiple trades made up within the zone, which acts as a very good way of managing your trades versus using a hard stop loss. But the feature's here nevertheless, so you can change this to whatever pip size that you want. But this again will be given out to the group, all members area, every single week. Got a break even feature here. You can obviously choose to break even on the trade. If you choose that, you can obviously just set pips here, or when you want it to break even. Profit lock, which is a very smart feature actually. The profit lock is basically where you have a trade and the trade has gone into profit, and you want to say to yourself, okay, well, I want to secure certain amounts of profit. You just say to yourself, okay, well, I want the stop loss to appear 10 pips after my entry, or 10 pips behind the market, then I should say. This is how this pretty much acts like like a trailing stop, but it doesn't, if that makes any sense. But either way, it's just a very hard stop loss, which will be moved, you know, just before the market. So that way, you got your entry, for example, here. Let's say, for example, for sell, you've got your entry here for the sell. Let's say that the market's moved down here, and obviously, let's say 10 pips away from the market entry, which would be roughly around there or so. It will have a hard stop loss here. So if the market decides to retrace up, it will hit that stop loss and you still end up with profit. Now, going over to the money management section. I hope that's clear for you guys anyway. Money management section, obviously, you've got this is manual. You can actually change it. So if you're trading manually, you can obviously change your lot sizes here. Obviously, one, two, three, four, for obviously 4 times it enters a trade. Or you can decide to do it on a percentage basis, which again, you can change the percentage of how you want that to be managed as well. So this is for manual trading only, this section here. When you go down to the automated section, which is over here, which is the percent options, you can decide how much risk you want to take on per trade. I've currently got it set at 2% at the moment. The reason for that is we're dealing with very low volatility as I'm speaking to you just before Christmas, the festive period, which is absolutely fine for me at the moment. But you can decrease this to say, okay, well, you only want 0.1% on the trade per trade opened, and then that'd be adjusted like that. Or you can say 0.5%, which is the default setting anyway, and you can obviously have it set like that. The profit split is very, very simple. This feature I love a lot. You, for example, in AFSD 1.0, we had multiple take profit zones. With this, you have, you can decide to yourself, okay, well, you want to take profit at 70%, and then 10%, take 7% off, then 10% off, then 10, then 10. So eventually it makes up the 100. So you want to picture it as you've got one lot, you traded one lot, and then you've taken 70 cents off that trade, and then another 10 cents, and then another 10 cents, and another 10 cents as it makes its way towards its original take profit zone. So there are a few parameters to work here. You can either work 30, 30, 30, 10, 40, 30, 10, 20, 10, 50, 30, 10, 10, etc. So there's a lot of different take profits you can obviously achieve by using this particular feature, and it kind of works on like a scaling basis. The minimum percentage margin is set at 500. Again, you can adjust that if you wish, depending on your brokerage and the leverage that you've taken out from your broker. And then slightly going down slightly. There we go. This your kind of your normal stuff here. All pretty much self-explanatory. You've got your alerts, which is obviously you can have alerts directly sent down to your phone or to your platform. Which is obviously here with the push alerts. Then obviously you've got alerts for your platform, and then message alerts that pop up on your screen. Then you've got sound alerts which pop up on your MT4 platform as well. Here, if you're using PC or Mac, you've got your local time. You can actually shut the timer off for the alert, so you don't have to hear your thing buzzing every time a trade's been made. So you can adjust it here. It's set to 2100, and you can end the sound, or choose to end the sound at around 6 a.m. So this when everybody gets up roughly, or you can just change that if you wish to have that on all day, or turn it off completely. So those are features there for that. Just going down to the screenshot section, as you can see here, we've got screenshots. You can obviously take a screenshot for when you guys perhaps need to dispute a trade, perhaps with your broker, which is set to true. So, for example, if you didn't get filled at a certain position, and let's say the market went up here to our zone, but you didn't get filled, and it might be an issue with the broker, or it could be a liquidity issue or something along those lines. What the smart thing that obviously here would do is actually take a screenshot of the entry and the exit. So very, very important feature for this particular EA. Stopping disputes. Going down to display options, you've got trade signal arrows. Okay, very important feature as well. You'll see different colors of arrows. So depending on obviously when we get the sell, we get the buy. We get a sell, you'll see an arrow above it. We get a buy, you get an arrow below it. System comments here on the left hand side, obviously set to our original AFSD purple or blue violet in that case, and we'll just go over here, cancel this now, and just explain kind of this. Now, this is our dashboard. Dashboard is interchangeable. That means you don't have to have it there. You can hide the info box like so, or put it back like that. You will notice in this area here, you've got stuff like your broker time, your date and time, etc. You've got your local time, you've got your money management sorted out for you here. It tells you exactly kind of what's what. You've got your margin percentage, which is also highlighted here, and get rid of that. And then obviously you've got your spread, which is obviously always differing on GJ or any other type of asset, which is pretty much liquid. So you've got that there as well. So all good stuff there in this. And then what would happen is that as each trade gets made throughout the week, you would see it start to populate in this particular carton here, and you can kind of really get a hands-on feel for how this EA actually trades. If you don't want to use auto mode, then I highly suggest clicking this area here to switch on manual mode, and then you can use your buys and sells buttons here. These are all buttons here, by the way, guys, so you can click on them and then we'll do the exact thing that they're required to do. You can actually draw your own zones if you wish as well. So if you want to have a stab at the market, you're more than welcome to. You could just do that by just simply clicking the word draw zone, box will appear there at the bottom. And then let's say, for example, you notice a really good supply zone and you want to really take it. Let's just say this one here, for example. You just draw it in like that. And then you just press the word, just press double click the edge of the box. So all four corners have now set into the actual chart itself. So that's how you draw a particular zone. Get very good at supply and demand. Of course, I highly recommend you guys jumping on if you want to learn about that. You can actually learn about supply and demand and how to draw the boxes and how to draw the zones, and pretty much make money every single week drawing your own zones. So something I definitely recommend hopping on board. I would say to you again, when you are getting these charts, you're going to just simply use import feature. So for example, me on the back end, what I would do is just use an export feature, and it'll export all the charts to the file section. So exported, as you can see there. You need to go into the MQL4 and then files, and then obviously I'll show you guys kind of how to put that in another video. I'll show you how to kind of put our files directly into the EA. Okay, so that's been exported for you guys. So you can update labels as well, and this analyzing feature has been a feature that has been worked on. I can't ruin the surprise at the moment, but it's something definitely going to be used. You can use in the back testing section of the EA, so you can kind of get your zones back tested as well. So I hope this video helps here, guys. Any questions, feel free to reach out to me on Telegram, which is UNCMC, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Take care and enjoy it.